All right, so we're all on a road trip down to California for a continuing education course, and I thought this would be a really good time to just go over a few things on how we can set up our vehicles to be more comfortable on the ride, especially if you're dealing with some irritations with the low back. One of the main things that I often see is not getting close enough. So we want to be where we're able to have a little bit of bend in the knees. We're not reaching too far. I want to be able to, in a spot where I can have about a nice 15-20 degree angle. If we're too far and we have to keep our arms reached forward, a lot of times we end up starting to load more into the neck. And I just want to be able to be nice and relaxed with the arms so that the shoulder blades can drop and connect more to the rib cage rather than having to pull them up onto the neck. The other aspect of it is making sure that getting the right lumbar setup. Right now, my truck, I can come here and I can go ahead and pump up the lumbar support, but I really am not a fan of the lumbar support in really pretty much any vehicle I've been in, because they tend to be way too low and they just push your pelvis forward and a lot of times force you to actually dump in and kind of sag a little bit into that low back. So I just keep a lumbar roll here on the headrest of my truck. And now to use this, I will sit all the way back, make sure I push this lumbar roll down really to the pelvis and support the pelvis rather than putting it up too high. That's one of the most common mistakes with using a lumbar roll, is that we get it right there in the middle of the arch of the low back, and then a lot of times we just end up sagging and flexing underneath the lumbar roll. So make sure we get sitting all the way back, right along that belt line, and then sit back into the lumbar roll. Let it really support you. The other thing that some vehicles have is, like my truck has a little footrest here. So I really like to create this extra support point from that footrest, and that helps me to prevent from sliding forward in the vehicle and really flexing through the low back and just giving that little extra support to keep my hips all the way back into the chair. So give those tips a shot. If you need a lumbar roll, we have lumbar rolls in the office. And here's some ideas for you for your setup for your next road trip.